and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Saturday. I hope you guys have had a good start to your weekend and that you've had a good week as well. So, opening with Percy Johnson for tonight. Let me skip this advert immediately as we get into the talking part of the live stream. The advert pops up, but anyway, that's now cancelled. So hello to you guys, and I can see you in the live chat room tonight. We have Flynn, who says hi Phil, hi Flynn, Valhalla, Pink Thistle, Howard, Bella, Susie, Billy, Bob, Diamond Girl, Corey, Lisa, Arlene, Lisa, Lara, Daisy, Ruth, Tammy, Laurie, Deborah, Gail, Lisa's in there as well. Ocean Cats, I'm now jumping down because it's going too quickly. But hello to you guys and thank you for joining me tonight. So here in the UK, things are hotting up quite literally. I think yesterday might have been in the upper 20s, maybe 26, 27, something like that. So yeah, very warm for the UK. And as for what that is in Fahrenheit, I'm not sure. But I know that you have to add about 35. Oh, is it you add 35 and then it's something like, and then you times it by 5/7. Anyway, I just tend to, add, I think it's add 35 and then just add about half again. Something like that. But anyway, enough of that. I mean, when people actually figure it out, they think, well, that's not that hot, 27. And it's not really hot. But the problem is all of our houses are built to keep warmth in. So when it's warm outside, it gets warm inside. And it's still warm inside. And it's then getting warmer outside, which is adding more warmth inside. So, yeah, this is why indoors it'll be about 26. And then outside, especially in the evening, it can be about 16 degrees, 16 or 17. So it's 10 degrees warmer inside. But this is if you've got insulation. Lots of people don't have insulation, which means that, yeah, it's not so good for the winter, but in the summer it is better because it lets the heat escape. But anyway, let's get on with tonight's live stream. And let me get the names of my patrons up on screen in the first place. Or, yeah, for the first thing that we do, because they make this all possible in the first place. The live streams, the analysis videos, the cover videos that I've done in the past, authentic vocal, everything that I literally spend all of my time doing. Then, yeah, it's all down to the people at the bottom of the screen for making it possible. So thank you guys. You know who you are. Now, let's get the likes goal up on screen for tonight. And we're aiming for 405. Why does this look all weird? It looks like we've got a space where we shouldn't really have a space. But let me see if I... Oh, yeah, we've got an extra... Oh, we had a couple of spaces in there that shouldn't have been in there. So we will be going for, and it's Phil Jan number 243. So let's change that right now. I think we're pretty much okay. We're going to be aiming for 405 likes tonight. That is the goal. And let's get the likeometer up on screen to see where we are at tonight. So far, 195 is always good. If we are close to 200 by the time I get the likeometer up on screen, and there it is, perfect timing. So, yeah, we're looking for another 205 people. It makes the maths really easy when it's, 405, and now we're looking for 202 more people. So yeah, quite a lot of people to still get involved by the end of the live stream, but we will bust out the guitar, have Phil Jam number 243, and another thing I've just noticed is that should have a full stop there, or a period, as people say over in the USA, number 243. And should that have a full stop? What's going on with all of this extra typing that's suddenly happened? Let me do that going back there. Okay, so that's just me before the live stream probably typing it in, getting it all wrong. But now we are correct. And Karen says 27 Celsius is 80.6 Fahrenheit. So thank you for calculations. And like I said, it's not really hot, but it is when if it's 27 degrees, then indoors is probably going to be maybe 5 or 6 or 7 degrees hotter than that. So you're getting into kind of the mid 30s Celsius, which isn't a nice place to be, because yeah, that's going to be obviously starting to approach 100 degrees Fahrenheit. I think that's probably high 30s, maybe 40 degrees, maybe, because I know that 100 degrees Fahrenheit is crazy temperatures. And I've heard that over in Las Vegas, I mean, Las Vegas, that's in the desert. So it is, I mean, when it is 100 degrees Fahrenheit, it's understandable, but it gives you the idea of the kind of heat that we're talking about. But yeah, I think that the hottest I've ever experienced is 42, because that was in the UK. So I was here with that was a few years ago, maybe a couple of years ago, where we had our hottest temperature ever recorded, and it was 42 degrees. Might have been 43, not sure, but yeah, I know that in places, you know, they can get up to kind of 45 and 50 degrees, which, by the way, if you've got an oven, I'm pretty sure that most ovens start at like, what, 40 or 50 degrees. So when it's 50 degrees Celsius, it means you're getting into your oven. That's how stupid it is. So yeah, I'm not surprised that people don't go out in those kind of temperatures, because yeah, I wouldn't advise getting in an oven at any point. So anyway, let's now get the donations tab up on screen, because as always, you don't have to donate. Just watching is great, but I know that a lot of people can't resist. So for those people, I think it's important that they know between 45 and 60% goes to YouTube through the Super Chat window, and between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal through the PayPal link, which you can find in the description below. But yeah, just watching is great. Introduce yourself into the live chat room, maybe hit the thumbs up, and yeah, leave a comment. And I can see that people are going through, and you can leave, I can see there's emoticons going through of people waving. So yeah, you can just wave to each other in the live chat room, and we'll get used to each other's usernames and names. And yeah, right, I've got to get into the couple of donations that have happened already, so thank you guys for these. Paul donated $5. Thank you for that, Paul. And the message was, 487,000 subscribers now. Most excellent. Have fun tonight and spike those likes, all y'all rock. So did I change this? I did. We have crawled towards 487,000 subscribers. So thank you guys for subscribing, and I know that there are a lot of people subscribing and a lot of people watching, so thank you for that. And I think that a lot of people are subscribing, or a lot more people are subscribing, but unfortunately there's this thing at the moment where YouTube is going to unsubscribe people once they've subscribed, which we've been seeing happening. But we're still moving in the right direction, which can't be bad. So yeah, thank you guys for subscribing, and we'll keep on pushing forward, see where we end up. But yeah, 487,000 subscribers, amazing, and already a decent audience. And I know that probably since the beginning of the year, maybe even last year, when people were saying, oh, you'll get up to 500,000, and some people say, oh, within a few months. That never happens. But yeah, some people said by Christmas we might get up to 500,000. I don't know. I know that because things have not slowed down with viewing figures, but have dramatically slowed down with the amount of people subscribed, and then people being unsubscribed and then having to resubscribe, and it's all a bit of a pain. So yeah, it'll probably take quite a while. But we'll keep on pushing forward, and we might get there at some point. We might never get there, who knows. But I will still be here making videos and doing live streams on Tuesdays and Saturdays, 11 PM Greenwich Mean Time. Right, now, Valhalla has donated £10 as well, so thank you for that. And that's a straight up donation. I will just jump over to the PayPal window because we've had a donation in there. First of all, John, who donated £5. So thank you for that, John. And that's a straight up donation. And we've had another one and it's just taking ages to load. But Cindy's donated £20. So thank you for that, Cindy. And yeah, we have the message with this. It says, wishing a happy birthday to Sue. For real this time. Also, happy Father's Day tomorrow to your father and the rest of the dads out there. So, thank you for that, Cindy. And yes, this is Sue's second birthday of the year. So, yeah, but this is the real one. So, yeah, happy birthday to you, Sue. And everyone say happy birthday to Sue in the live chat room. And thank you, Cindy, for letting us all know that piece of information. Tammy's donated £10 as well. Thank you for that, Tammy. And the message is, hi, Phil. Congratulations on hitting 487,000 subscribers. That is outstanding. Keep up the great work. Love and rock. So thank you for that. And Bryony has donated £5, so thank you for that. And the message says, greetings from Greece. Keep doing what you do. So thank you for that. And yeah, I will do. And Nicole's donated £12 as well. Thank you for that, Nicole. And the message is a quick hello, Phil, to wish you a nice weekend. Your precious kiss and rock for all. So thank you for that. And Karen has just donated £25 as well. Thank you for that, Karen. And that is a straight up donation. And Lisa W is in the house and has donated £10 as well. So thank you for that, Lisa. And that is a straight up donation as well. Right, we're up to date over in the PayPal window. And Karen has donated $10 as well. So thank you for that, Karen. And the message is, greetings, Phil. Just wondered if you'd heard about Brian Wilson dying just a couple of days after losing Sly from the Family Stone. Hard to lose the genuine vocalist. So thank you for that. And yeah, I did hear the sad news. I think I was watching the news actually when it pretty much broke. It just happened to be on in the background. So yeah, I guess this is going to be the problem, especially for people and communities that are into genuine vocalists and just great artists and great songwriters. And yeah, it means that there was always that previous generation where, I don't know, it's just a totally different kind of thing, because they just genuinely did it all, and they didn't really have the reliance on technology. They didn't have the option to be reliant on technology. So when, listening to the Beach Boys and not only the recordings and stuff like in the studio, but then live as well, just having great songs. And that's the thing about, I always say that it's one thing to be a great performer, great vocalist, great instrumentalist, all these different things, but then to be a great songwriter, that's always something that's kind of on the side and something totally different, because you can have the most amazingly technically gifted instrumentalists, but they can't write a song, or they can't really, even, I guess with being an instrumentalist, it's really difficult, because you've got to come up with melodies that are catchy and things that are going to be hooky, and come up with riffs that are going to stay in people's heads and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, they just play an instrument and they haven't, or they don't sing. They've made that choice to not sing as part of what they do. So it means that, trying to write a hit, something that's going to maybe get to number one in the charts, is going to be really difficult, because people haven't got that human voice to connect with. So when we're talking about great songwriters and great vocalists and instrumentalists and being able to do all of that, but great songwriters, I mean, Brian was just kind of way up there for everything. And that's why it is so rare to have artists and bands that were so good at everything, because sometimes you'll just get a songwriter who's a great songwriter, but they might not be a great singer, or they might be a great singer and songwriter, but then they're not a great instrumentalist, or they might be all three of those, but then they're not a great performer. And there's so many things, and this is why when talking about musicians and artists in general, whenever people comment about a particular artist and they say, oh, this particular singer isn't as good as this other singer, and they don't take into consideration that, yeah, but this singer that you're saying isn't as good is playing the guitar at the same time, and they're playing lead guitar solos. The other person that you're comparing them to, they don't play an instrument. So, of course, they've had all that time to work at their voice. If, while they're practicing singing, somebody said, okay, stop practicing that. You now have to learn to play this guitar solo on this guitar. They'll say, well, that's going to take me hours every day for months and years in order to do that. So when am I going to practice my vocals? And these are always the things that people don't factor in. That, yeah, being a great songwriter, great instrumentalist, great vocalist, I think maybe in previous generations people were spoiled for choice, because especially when we're talking about the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s, and before digital technology really started to take off, even though it did start really in the 80s, you had bands and artists who were doing so many things. And then when people say about Prince, for example, being the performer and the vocalist, the guitarist, the songwriter, these people, I know that Prince is going to be out slightly later on than when we're talking about Brian Wilson, but when we're comparing these kinds of artists, they're just standalone artists, and just the songs, and especially with the Beach Boys, the harmonies, the layered harmonies, and being able to do it live. And that, again, referencing someone like Prince, he was all about live performances, and the people who were kind of that good back in the day always did it live. So when you went to see a live show, you just got that sound that you've been listening to on the record, as it was back then. So yeah, very sad news about Brian and Sly from the Family Stone, which I hadn't actually heard about yet, but thank you, Karen, for that donation. And I'm just going to be jumping into the PayPal window because Karen's donated £6.93, so thank you for that. And the message is, hi Phil, congrats on hitting 487,000 subscribers. You've had my curiosity piqued with your analysis videos about fair use, hence my question. Can someone report a YouTube creator to the original composer, publisher, other applicable source, etc. for using their songs without their permission? If so, is it a long, drawn-out process? Many thanks for being the voice of reason and for all you do. Cheers, Karen. So thank you for that. And I mean, generally the report is going to go to YouTube, and then they are going to have to forward that on to the copyright owner of a particular song. Generally what happens is, and giving the example of Don Henley, for example, which is going to be quite a good example because it's one of the more extreme cases where he would have teams of people watching the internet and especially YouTube for any particular cover or any unauthorized use of one of Don Henley's compositions. So then they would go in and block those particular songs or covers. Now the thing about doing a cover is that it's probably going to fly under the radar to begin with unless you label it. I mean, I tend to label all of my cover videos as what they are, so it means that they get picked up straight away from a copyright perspective, and then they take the copyright owner or owners take the ad revenue for my cover video of their song. But if you don't call it what it is as a song, and if the melody, I mean, with AI now, YouTube should be able to spot melodies, and I know that I had a video where I was maybe demonstrating a vocal from the song, and that's something that I sometimes do in analysis videos, and I got a copyright claim because it said this video uses this melody, and it was just taking the 5 seconds of whatever I may have been singing of the song, giving an example of it. So this is why when people say, during live streams or in videos, can you play this riff, or can you play that song, or can you do a cover of this song? if just singing the melody without any accompaniment causes the copyright claim to come through, then yeah, it's really restrictive as to what you can do. So it's better just to kind of stay away from doing impromptu things. And I know that some channels film themselves busking, and they might do 4, 5, 6, 10 songs that they don't own, and of course they're not titling their video as all of the song names, so it means that the copyright claims aren't being applied, and the creator of that particular video, the YouTube channel owner, they're going to be getting the ad revenue for that. So that's where there's a bit of a loophole, because I don't think YouTube's advanced enough yet to, especially with ambient noise, to hear that, oh, in the background there's this song going on, even though it's being sung by somebody else and they're doing their own version. That is still ad revenue. If somebody's got ads on their video, that should be going to the copyright owners of all of the songs they're playing on their particular, however long they're playing for, sometimes half an hour, sometimes an hour. But I've mentioned this before, that yeah, that's it's technically illegal to do that, but a lot of people do it and get away with it, and it's not being enforced. If it were to be enforced, and it's something that they could do, going back, they could look at somebody's video and say, right, you've had 3 million views on you busking these 10 songs that you don't own, so therefore we can calculate how much ad revenue you have got that you owe to the writers of those songs. That's something that absolutely could happen if they wanted to retrospectively apply the law of fair use. And yeah, or it's not even fair use, just doing a cover video, that is going to be claimed if it is found by YouTube and if it's the same content ID. But of course, doing covers, it means that it won't be. So that's why, yeah, there's this kind of loophole. So yeah, any channels that are filming themselves doing loads of cover songs, yeah, it's always risky. I just stay away from doing all that. I will just do one cover song, label it as the song that it is, so then it gets picked up and everything's above board. So anyway, yeah, if you see, I mean, you could do, if you want to, look through channels and see that they're busking, and write down the names of all the songs, and then contact the record label. And I'm not sure whether YouTube have a department to deal with it, but you could say, this particular video's had X amount of millions of views and they've used your song, so I'd suggest that maybe you copyright claim it. Because if you do that, then they can copyright claim that whole video, and the other copyright owners of the other songs can also copyright claim it. But if only one person does it, they will get the ad revenue for that particular video, but not retrospectively. They will then get it from that point onward. But if it's a very popular video, then you think, well, yeah, it's going to be worth doing, because you are entitled to that. If they are playing your song, that's absolutely how the law works. It's like somebody, what did we start with? Percy Johnson, one of my songs. It's like somebody doing a cover of my song and getting thousands or hundreds of thousands of pounds ad revenue because they've done my song. I'd say, but hang on, that's my song. You can't do that. That's illegal. So yeah. But this is the point. Like I said, that there is a loophole, but that's just the way of it on YouTube at the moment. So as for kind of reporting creators, you can try to do it, but it's probably going to be a very long process. But you could email the copyright owners or the record label, the publishing company, if you really wanted to. But yeah, there's a lot. I mean, it'll be an endless task, because there's a lot of it on YouTube where people are playing things and not actually getting copyright claimed for them, because they might be covers, it might be busking, all that kind of stuff. But anyway, thank you for that, Karen. And Linda has donated £7.04. Thank you for that, Linda. And the message is, congrats on the new subs. Today was awesome, celebrating my son's birthday. My question is, when you decided to record your CD, how did you decide which songs? Stay happy, rock on. So thank you for that. And I mean, generally, I just pick the songs that I liked the most. And there are particular songs that because these songs have all played live for very many years, so it means that you get a vibe as to which songs go down quite well. And I think that if they go down quite well live, it means that, well, there's probably a good argument for putting them on a CD. There'll be other songs that, there have been loads of songs that I've done in the past, and because I've been playing for a very long time, there'll be particular songs that I thought, oh, should I do that? Should I not do that one? And that's probably not so good. There's potentially another ballad or two, but then I thought, well, I've already got Paris Nord and Don't Cry, and they're quite slow already, so I won't do any more ballad songs. And then there's another song that actually usually was quite good live, and that was called In Too Deep. But that was, I don't know, it was like a lot of the other songs in terms of it was quite up-tempo and had a riff in there. So I thought, oh, well, yeah, I don't think it kind of sits with the other songs. And then, Unwanted Stranger was one of those that was a more recent song, but just made the cut. And this is why on my album there's 11 songs, because it was going to be 10, and I thought, right, yeah, 10's going to be fine, round number, absolutely fine. And then Unwanted Stranger came along. I thought, oh, well, it's a quite good, I thought, is a good way to end the album, to have that on there, because the song actually ends with pulling the jack, or the lead, out of the guitar. So I thought, well, there you go. It's quite a nice way to end an album, is that you're unplugging your guitar. And it just happened to be, that's the way that it was recorded. I'm trying to remember, I don't know why I did that at the end. I just pulled it out when I pulled out the jack when recording the riff right at the end. And it might have been something that I was either not really concentrating on the take that I was doing, therefore I kind of, maybe I was going to be changing over to something else or plugging into a different amp, I don't know. But anyway, it's one of those things that happens when you're recording and you think, oh, that sounds quite good. Just stopping like that and, yeah, getting rid of the jack out of the guitar. So, yeah, quite a good ending, but it just so happened that then there were 11 songs on the album, which is a bit weird, but it is what it is. There are no rules as to how many songs you've got to have on an album. Just do however many you want to have on there. So, yeah, I did think of trying to write another song to make it up to 12, but then I thought, well, yeah, but why would I be writing the song? It's almost like, well, it would have been that I was trying to write a song purely to have 12 tracks. And you think, yeah, but that's not why, I don't think that's the reason why you should be writing songs, is to try and make one up, to make it a round number on your album. Because you could have 11 really good songs that you like, and then the last one you can write and you think it's all right at the time, and then a few years later you think, oh, that is so obviously a song that I just made up, to try and fit in at the end to get 12 tracks. Not that there haven't been albums in the past that have suffered from that. Generally, that's going to be the case with artists who might have, a 2 or 3 album deal, and they put all of their songs, on the first album, all the ones that they've been maybe playing for years and years and years, and they know they work really well, and then the record label says, okay, right, now we need another album, and by the way, we need it finished by 4 months time. And then the band will say, yeah, but we haven't got any songs yet, we've put all of them on the first album. And then the record label will say, yeah, we'll get writing them then. So then sometimes for a band they think, well, yeah, but how are we going to write the songs that we wrote before, that we know are really good and tried and tested? So yeah, let alone then the third album, what are they going to do for that? So yeah, but anyway, back to that point about Brian Wilson and just being a great songwriter, having that ability to write songs and great songs, and it is a totally different skill in itself. But anyway, thank you for that, Linda. Oh, and happy birthday as well to your son, and I hope he has a great day and you have a great day celebrating. And Ian has donated £10, so thank you for that, Ian. And the message is, did you ever take drum lessons? Is there any instrument you would love to play? So thank you for that, Ian. And first of all, no, but technically I've never had a guitar lesson or a singing lesson either. So I tend to just pick things up or just find my own way through things. But yeah, with other instruments, I think I've been asked this before actually, that if there were another instrument that I really wanted to play, I think I probably would have picked it up by now, because when I started playing the guitar, I couldn't sing, and it got to the point where we were auditioning singers for a year, and I thought, it's going to be quicker for me to learn to sing, because I wanted to release songs that had singing on them. I wanted to release complete songs, lead vocals, harmony vocals as well. So I started to think, well, if what you're releasing is now determined on some, or actually it's relying on somebody else, you think, right, I know the songs I want to do, I know the sound I want to have, but I'm relying on finding the right person to sing it. So what if you never find the right person? It means that you're never going to release your songs. So that's why I thought, right, I've been playing guitar for quite a long time. So I thought, well, I'm kind of happy where I am with my guitar playing. So then I'll now learn to sing. And when you're learning to sing, when you're starting from scratch and you don't really have a clue what you're doing, it's exactly like learning to play the guitar. You've got to do it every day. You've got to spend an hour at least. That's what I was doing. I was actually doing it 6 days a week, having Sunday off, because the thing about playing a guitar is that you can play every day, and if you're not kind of hammering away it's kind of 6 hours a day with practice, then you can get away with playing for a few hours every day, and your fingers will harden up, and you can keep on playing and keep on playing, and when your strings break, you just change them and you keep on going and keep on going and keep on going. So if you apply that to vocals, as a guitarist myself, I was applying everything that I'd learned on the guitar to vocals, but it doesn't work like that. So you think, right, I'll just keep on singing, I'll keep on singing, I'll keep on singing, and oh, hang on, my voice is starting to feel a bit different. It's a bit kind of croaky compared to what it was before. So I'll keep on singing. Oh, now I'm feeling like I'm losing my voice. So you've got all of these different problems that you can't just change out your vocal cords and put new ones in, like playing a guitar with your strings. So singing's a totally different animal, and this is why I think a lot of guitarists never sing or learn to sing. Maybe they try to sing and they think, oh no, I don't want any part of that. I'd rather play something that is going to be tuned and I know is going to sound great all the time, because I can literally ensure that the guitar is going to sound great. I just need to plug it into the amp and that's it. I can obviously sing through the guitar. You want to be able to do that, but the guitar's never going to sing out of tune if you've tuned it up. Whereas mastering vocal cords is so difficult, and this is why it takes hours and hours and years. So I mean, with other instruments, like drums and keys and guitar, they're always going to work. Whereas I think it's really a big decision to decide to learn to sing, because your voice will just not do what you want it to do. You can, and this is the other thing with guitar. You can know all of the theory in the world, and you can apply that to your playing, to your guitar. Like you can think, okay, right, hammer-ons, pull-offs, I can do those. Alternate picking, right, I can slow it down. And with alternate picking, if you gradually speed it up, week on week, month on month, year on year, you are going to be better. You're going to get faster. You're going to achieve your goal of being able to do that. Whereas singing, you can know all of the what you should be doing. You think, right, I've got to balance my airflow. I've got to now transition smoothly into head voice for the higher notes. I've now got to apply vibrato without strain, and you can know all of that, but you can't do it. It's not like playing a guitar, playing any other instrument, because you're a living, breathing thing, and your vocal cords, there aren't any buttons you can push on them in order to make sure that they work all the time, or even just to get them to work in the first place. So yeah, it's a totally different kettle of fish. So yeah, this is when I make that decision to try and sing. It's almost like you think, okay, right, well, every other thing that I wanted to work at, like getting better at, drums and keys, which I'd love to be better at those things. I know that, unfortunately, they trigger my problem I've got with my arm, which is still going through rehabilitation with ligaments and tendons and a couple of problems that I've got. But I know that I don't mind missing out on playing those instruments. As long as I'm able to play the guitar and sing, then I'm fine with that. But anyway, long answer to that question, but in short, is there any instrument you would love to play? No, because I would be playing it already. So anyway, thank you as well to David, who donated $5. I think so we got to Karen, and David donated $5 in the super chat window. So thank you for that. And that is a straight up donation. Jan has donated 50 Norwegian kroner as well. And Jan says, who is the undercover agent for the Blues? So thank you for that. And IMACZ or IMAX, that might be. Is that a cinema? It might be a cinema. I'm not sure. Anyway, IMAX has donated €4. So thank you for that. And it's the pear person holding out the mug, and it's filled with either red wine or, I don't know, summer fruit squash. Who knows? Thank you for that. And Karen's donated $5 as well. So thank you for that again. And this is now in the super chat window. The message is, Phil, just for fun, which would you choose? 50 turtles living in your house or 100 canaries living in your house, and why? Thanks and cheers, Karen. I think this was a relatively easy decision for me. I'd choose the 50 turtles because 100 canaries, they're going to be flying all over the place, making lots of noise. Now, if I'm trying to do a live stream, they'll be flying all over the place. But if there were turtles, like 50 turtles, now, I mean, you might see them in the background on the floor, just moving around, but I could just move them to another place and then say, well, good luck getting to this room. I could just close the door. Good luck getting to this room because they move very slowly, and easier to keep track of. And I think that'd be, for me, quite an easy decision, because thinking of also the mess. I mean, I don't know how much mess turtles make, but I used to have rabbits when I was a kid, so I assume it's the same kind of thing. So they've got a section that you can have. 50 is quite a lot of them, but maybe let them out into the garden as well. I suppose that's the thing. Oh, they have to be in the house. So I just put them all over the house. But I don't think I've never had any bird pets, and just them flying around I think would probably be a bit distracting for me, and they could even knock the camera off the monitor. So that'd be a bit of a nightmare. Anyway, right, it is 1:45 midnight, and by the way, here we go again. More Than Words has 50% of the vote for the cover video for tonight, and it's between More Than Words and Is This Love. And was it in the last live stream where the vote was like pretty much 50-50, and it actually ended as 50-50, and it looks like More Than Words has 50% of the vote, but sometimes it says 50 and 49 because there was a decimal place that it would then obviously go one way. But last time was absolutely crazy. It was literally 50-50, and then I had to choose. Karen says rabbits or more messy than birds. So thank you for that. I don't know. It depends, because rabbits, like we kept rabbits and they had a hutch, so it meant that they were in there, and they had hay. So I guess it's the same, it's a very small version, as horses do. When you clean out a horse, you cleaned out the rabbit in the same way. So you just grab all of the hay, chuck that away, put new hay in there, and yeah, hey, there it is. You have it. So I don't know, just the flying thing. I think that if a bird decides that it needs the toilet and it happens to be flying at the time, I feel like, well, surely that's going to be messier than a rabbit. So yeah, I still think that rabbits would be slightly cleaner because they're not flying and doing their business, which is always what happens whenever I clean my car. It's almost like the birds are watching and thinking, oh, he's cleaned his car again, so let's go on our dropping mission and see if we can hit it exactly on. And what I will say is that here in, I think it was High Wycombe or somewhere that's very close, there were a shortage of kites. And these are birds that kind of look like eagles. So they're very big. And they went through a period of trying to get more kites and more kites and more kites. And because they are like eagles, they're not really like eagles, but they are pretty big. They are very good at what they do, i.e. hunting, and therefore increasing their numbers. So now there are kites absolutely everywhere. And the point is that because they're such big birds, when a kite's flown over your car and decided that it wants to, drop something, you definitely know about it. It looks like you tried to paint your car white and then you maybe got distracted. So yeah, absolute pain. And I did wash my car yesterday, and I haven't been out yet to check. I almost don't want to go out to see what kind of state it's in, but yeah, it's almost like they're on the radio to each other. They don't need a radio, they just call out because they've a really loud call as well that you can hear from miles away. But anyway, Lisa W has donated £5 again. Thank you for this. And the message is, Phil, we could have used you at the beach this past week. The karaoke left a lot to be desired. So thank you for that. And yeah, I don't tend to go to beaches much. I think with my very light skin, trying to stay out of the sun, especially on the beach, I'd maybe have an umbrella that I stay underneath. And the other thing is, like, running across hot sand, like if it is really hot, it's like, right, I've got to get to under the umbrella, and then you have to leg it. And then sometimes if there's like a hotel or something and they've got paving slabs that are really hot as well, yeah, you can burn your feet off. So anyway, I know that they've got things such as shoes and flip-flops and things that you can wear on your feet, but yeah, for whatever reason, maybe I always forget them. So I'm not on the beach very much. But thank you for that, Lisa. And Leslie has donated £50. Thank you for that, Leslie. And the message is, hi Phil, adding to Patreon donation again. How did you decide on the length when you wrote a song, Leslie? So thank you for that. And it's not something that I think you ever really decide on and saying, oh, I'm going to make this song 3 minutes and 59 seconds. It just is what it is. So you'll have intro, verse, chorus, verse again, maybe sometimes a bit of a riff after the chorus, first chorus into the verse again. Then maybe chorus, middle eight, guitar solo, probably, and then final chorus. So it just tends to be that's the way that it's laid out, but it means that depending on the tempo or the length of the verse and the chorus or the riff, how many bars you're playing that for, it just is random, and it's getting to the point where you feel like, well, this should be the end now, because doing another chorus at the end, you think, well, yeah, everyone's kind of got the point, and you want people to listen to the song again. You don't want to make it boring. So yeah, it just kind of works itself out. It's not something that's pre-planned. So thank you for that, Leslie. And we've had some more donations. Diane has donated £20. Thank you for that, Diane. The message is, thank you for your great analysis of great music. My mum was a musician, so we had to learn piano before any other instruments. I went on to learn 8 and sing. So thank you for that. And IMAX has donated $1.49. So thank you for that. And it looks like it's a dog, a picture of a dog maybe. Or a very, yeah, I think it's a dog. I was going to say maybe a very overweight cat. But thank you for that. And Karen's donated $5. Thank you for that, Karen. The message is, a bird flew into my house years ago and my Kitty cat went insane trying to catch it. If there were 100, it'd be pandemonium. So thank you for that. And yeah, that's something that cats like to do, to sneak around and chase birds and mice or rats or whatever they might be. Now, not that there are rats. Actually, I was going to say not that there are rats in the UK. There definitely are, and especially kind of in London, and sometimes where they don't pick up the bins for ages and the council have problems, and then kind of, yeah, rats, it's like just free food for them. But yeah, thankfully not where I am, or not in, you know, my garden or anything around. But I suppose if there were any, then the cats would be on the case, because they just tend to sit around on the fence just being lazy and there's nothing to do. So they have to fill their time with something, and that just tends to be either sitting on the fence or climbing on my car, which again is annoying, because I think, well, just be careful with your claws, because yeah, depending on where I park my car, I think they were using it to kind of run and jump then onto a fence. So yeah, I was starting to see little telltale scratches on my car, and I thought, well, these weren't here yesterday, so what's going on? I haven't been anywhere. This is the problem. There's just so many cats around, and there's nothing really you can do about that, because the cat has damaged your car and might have scratched it. But what do? Do you go to the owner of the cat and say, your cat scratched my car? And then they say, well, prove it. And so, well, I haven't got a video, but I know that they've been around my car, and that, you know, they kind of run across my car. And yeah, anyway, long story short, I now reverse so that it's too far for the cat to jump onto the fence, so they have to now climb it, so they don't get this launch off my car. So there you go. And thankfully there haven't been, and I've still got the old kind of light scratches, but yeah, they're not too noticeable. And yeah, there haven't been any more after that, thankfully. So my reversing of my car has worked. So anyway, oh, by the way, we are looking for, oh, we've already hit the goals. I was going to say we're looking for 405 likes. We're at 417 likes. So thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up. If you could hit the thumbs up, it all really does help, especially in the future on catch up as well. That's all good. So yeah, we will be having Phil Jam number 243 at the end of the live stream. And talking at the end of the live stream, it's 5 minutes to midnight. So how long is the backing track for tonight? Oh, it's 5 minutes and 38. So still relatively long, but I'm going to bring, oh, I tell you what, this is going to be close. Still 50. I'm kind of waiting, looking at Is This Love, because it was More Than Words before. And it is going to be Is This Love, which has the majority of the vote. And yeah, 50%. So again, it's going to be 50 point something and 59 point something for More Than Words. So a little bit of Whitesnake tonight. We will jump into this. We just have one picture in picture corner as well that we'll get into after this. But I hope you guys enjoy my version of the Whitesnake Classic. And just for reference, when I did this, I absolutely filled the room with smoke from a smoke machine that I bought for gigs, back in the day, just trying to put on the show, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, yeah, it was filled with smoke, but from the side angle, it looks like there's no smoke in the room at all. But yeah, it's actually a bit of a nightmare because the smoke smelled and the windows weren't open. So anyway, but it all sets the mood. Let's get into it, and I'll see you guys after. Rock!
wasted days, me sleepless nights, and I can't wait to see you again. I found to spend my time waiting on your call. How can I tell you, babe, my back's against the wall. I need you by my side just to tell me it's alright, 'cause I don't think I can take anymore. Is this love that I'm feeling? Is this the love that I've been searching for? Is this love, or am I dreaming? This must be love, because it's really got a hold on me. Hold on me. Can't stop the feeling, I've been this way before, but with you I've found the key to open any door. I can feel my love for you growing stronger day by day, and I can't wait to see you again, so I can hold you in my arms. Is this love that I'm feeling? Is this the love that I've been searching for? Is this love, or am I dreaming? This must be love, 'cause it's really got a hold on me. Hold on me. Is this love that I'm feeling? Is this the love that I've been searching for? Is this love that I'm feeling? Is this the love that I've been searching for? Is this love that I'm feeling? Is this the love that I've been searching for? Is this love, or am I dreaming? This must be love, 'cause it's really got a hold on me.
And there we have it. That was my version of Is This Love by Whitesnake. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. And thank you guys for requesting that and More Than Words over on Patreon. So, right, let's get into Picture Corner before I forget. So, as for where this is going to display on the screen, I do not know. It's always a bit random. So let's see what happens. Oh, that's almost in the middle, which is great. It means I don't have to move anything. So this is Barbara, and the message with this says, it's not just Barbara, but Barbara has her Wings of Pegasus t-shirt on, of course. The message with this says, spent the day at Sidewinder's restaurant in Waukesha, Wisconsin, with my son Jimmy and grandsons Liam and Andrew, wearing my purple Wings of Pegasus purple shirt. So thank you for that, Barbara, and yeah, there we go. That is it for Picture Corner tonight. Thank you, Laura, for sending that along, and let me try and get things reorganized. We are back. Everything's taking a little bit too long to load. But, right, 2 minutes past midnight. Phil Jam, 5 minutes 38. That means we've got time for something. We've got time for something at the end of the live stream that we are going to shoehorn into this section. Now, that can be either a fill tune or a riff of the week. Maybe the problem with the riff of the week... I know that there are so few of the riffs left, so it is like somebody winning the lottery as well. It's turned into a whole another game. But what do you guys want to do? Riff of the week or a fill tune? I'm going to be looking in the live chat room to see. And Angela says riff. Ninja Kitty says fill tune. Fill tune. Riff, 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 riff. Fill tune, riff. Fill tune riff, fill tune riff. Okay, so I think there are more people wanting a riff. So we're going to do a riff. Right. Now I need to do a lot in order for the riff to appear on screen. So, let me go to YouTube. Go to my channel. And, okay, I think I'm ready there. So, yeah, Laura has emailed me the numbers. So, right, what I need is a number between 1 and 100, and there are only 15. And, yeah, Laura says only 15 left. 15 riffs out of the 100. So, it means that you've got a 15 in 100 chance of picking a riff. So, I'm going to be looking in the live chat room for numbers. Laurie says 22. We have had 22. And Lisa says 33. We've had 33. Okay. Esquiel. I missed whatever the number that was. But, let me see. It was 23. We've had 23. Paul says 42. We've had 42. Diane says 19. We haven't had 19. So Diane is the lottery winner for tonight with number 19. So congratulations to you, Diane. Riff of the week 19. Let's click on that. Click on this. Oh, there's an advert. Right, let me set up the screen and mute the advert. So yeah, the adverts happen because even though I'm just playing the riff gets recognized, and yeah, the riff gets recognized, copyright claimed, and then the copyright owner gets the ad revenue for my particular riff of the week. So, right. Now, I need to get this on screen so that you guys can actually see what is going on. That, and then and it's appeared off to the side, which I did say it's random as to where it appears. Right, so here we go. What we want is the name of the song, please. Let's have a listen to this. And yeah, the first one to get it in the live chat room doesn't win anything other than getting it first. Let's have a listen. Unbelievable. I'd like to know what the chances are of that happening. So I can see that Cindy says, "Is this love?" And I think that was the first correct answer. Yes, it was. So we've just watched my version of Is This Love, and the riff of the week, a 1 in 100 chance of it being Is This Love, and it was it's Is This Love. Unbelievable. So yeah, Cindy got it. Billy says Is This Love by Rainbow. Kimberly says, is this love? Karen says, is this love? So everyone got it, of course, because you've just watched it. Susie Q said, yeah, is this love? Is this love? Angela says, is this love? Teresa. Joe says, is this aqualung love? And Bella says, look at Phil's hair. And yeah, a lot of people getting it. So congratulations to you. There we go. That was it. A very easy one for tonight because we just heard the song. Right, let me skip that advert and get back to here. Right, so we are going to be having the Phil Jam for tonight. Mic on. Zoom out. Red dude already zoomed out. Guitar would probably help. No, it's going to be the Strat. This is it. Oh no, I'm on my lead. Chair on the lead, never good. Right, let's get that. And this. Right. Okay, that is on. That is on. Okay, where are we? Right here. 243. Click on that.
Hi.
Mute advert. Okay, so this is Pink Floyd backing track G minor. And this is coming from Ian McLeod. And it's MACLEOD. Not sure if that's the correct pronunciation. But that is where this is coming from. Right, so let me know if the levels are all right. And I have to make sure that I can actually get in first place. Can you hear this? Okay, levels. Good. Excellent. Okay, there was definitely an ending on that one, which is good to have an ending sometimes. And it was getting I was holding on, hoping that they were going to resolve it at the end, which they did. So it meant that I got away with it where I was playing through that. So that was the Phil Jam for tonight. Pink Floyd backing track, G minor, cool backing track for tonight. Yeah, lots of different little avenues that we went down. And that was Ian MacLeod, IAIN and then MACLEOD on YouTube, if you guys want to have a jam along to that yourselves. There was a section in there that I thought, oh, it'd be really cool to have the guitar fading in. But as soon as I started to do it, it then changed back to what was going on before. So never mind. That's just the way of these things, that it could be changing at any point. Because that's it when you're jamming along and it's just random as to what's going to happen. That kind of thing can happen. Anyway, there have been a few more donations. So thank you for this. A Diamond Girl has donated $2 and says tip jar. Thanks, Phil. Great jam. So thank you for that. IMAX has donated €2 and says cool. So thank you for that. And Totoro Porco has donated $10 and says your middle names should be Floyd Gilmore. So thank you for that. And there's been another donation over on PayPal, so I'll quickly get to that before we finish. Linda's donated £3 and 52 pence, so thank you for that, Linda. The message is thank you for the birthday wishes. I refuse to say anything about age. Let's just say he's older than you. Doesn't mean I'm mean. I'm old, although I do. My job keeps me busy. I'm confused about the order of mine from the other store. Am I ever going to receive it? Yes, I had him at a young age. I'd like to thank you for all you do. Please enjoy your evening /day/ and then the message ends. So thank you for that. As for the orders from the spring.com store, I think they do come through eventually, but it just takes a very long time, hence why I'm currently organising things in order to change the store to another provider so that things can be a little bit more reliable and more kind of fluid, and things can flow a little bit better than the spring.com store. But you should still get the orders that you've made. It's not as if they've kind of gone bust or anything, it's just that the service isn't as good as I would like it to be. So anyway, thank you for that, and thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I'm going to be here with another video tomorrow night, of course, so look out for that, and live streaming on Tuesday, and video Wednesday, Friday, as normal. So yeah, if you can join me on Tuesday, that would be very much appreciated. But all that's left for me to say is try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend, and I'll catch you guys at the next one. Rock!